Gyokeres excels. It's been a topic of debate many weeks in a row here on Sunday Supplement. Where are you standing on the Gyokeres debate?
Well, we were talking off air. I think he's going to score 25 goals for Arsenal in all competitions.
His career?
Sorry?
In his career?
No. Look, it was his best 45 minutes for the club, and it wasn't just the fact that he scored. It was his all-round game, working really hard. That's what he's been brought in for. That's why he's giving Arteta and Arsenal something extra. And, you know, Bukayo Saka is loving the fact that Gyokeres is up there, creating space for him. And I think he'll end up being a good signing. And I know, you know, he's not always pretty to watch. Some of his goals have not exactly been worldies, but Arteta's not going to care. This is what he's there for. And I still think that even though he came in on the back of, you know, a stunning couple of years with Sporting Lisbon, I think not so much his time at Coventry, because he did well there in the end, but I still think the fact that he was scarred by what happened at Brighton, the fact he was there for 3 years, didn't ever play, didn't make it for a Premier League club. And he won't admit it now, but I reckon in a few months' time, when he gets to 25 goals, or maybe 30, I think he's told some of the players he might score over 30, I think. I think he'll go back and admit that the first few months at Arsenal were difficult because I still had that hangover from struggling at Brighton. So, you know, in training, apparently he's been really confident and upbeat. And, you know, the fact that Arteta was able to rest him, which was the key yesterday. Mikel Merino came on for the second half because, you know, one big accusation against Arteta is that he overplays players. That's why they've had so many injuries. So it's quite clear yesterday he's learnt his lesson, which is why Gyokeres was just given one half.
Carl, the bookies have them as outright favourites, rightly so probably, given how they're going for the title. Played 15 in all competitions. They've won 13. Extraordinarily, 12 clean sheets. Sam Dean's piece in The Telegraph, he actually asked what makes them so ludicrously solid. The answer could be found at stoppage time against Burnley. When Burnley were launching a counter-attack, every Arsenal outfield player sprinted back, desperate to keep a clean sheet. It was etched all over their faces. And it's probably, Arteta calls it a desire to defend, and one suspects he loves that collective attitude as much as any pretty pass or gorgeous goal. They seem to be celebrating these clearances. I've seen Gabriel punching the air when he clears a ball away from goal. They're almost celebrating it as much as a goal. What has impressed you most about Arsenal so far this season? Because it's easy to point at the clean sheets, but it's easy to forget there's been 12 different goal scorers as well so far.
12 different goal scorers. They're a set-piece menace, quite frankly. This is a team that has been built, and a team and a squad that has been built to deal and respond to the failures or second-place finishes of previous seasons. This is the most resilient, robust team in the Premier League at the moment. And like has been articulated there, when they lose the ball, the speed at which they retreat into their compact shape is phenomenal. And they've got 2 or 3 players, I think, who are particularly excellent at stopping counter-attacks. I think Declan Rice is one of the best football players in the Premier League, if not in Europe, at delaying and causing football players to take an extra touch or wait for a more opportune moment to make the pass, and before you have the time to make that pass, someone else has come and made the tackle. I think they recruited fantastically over the summer. They solved pretty much every single glaring issue they had with their squad, so their left-hand balance has been addressed. They've got backup number 10 now with Eze as well. They've got Gyokeres, who can occupy centre-backs, which creates more space for Saka. And then they've got Zubimendi, who, as far as I'm concerned, should have cost 100 million, because he's so exemplary at all the things you want from a modern-day defensive midfielder. And now he's also freed up Declan Rice to be more of that box-to-box football player. So this is a very straightforward 2-0 victory over a newly promoted team, but that's what teams who are champions-elect or have the glow of champions-elect are supposed to do. Stopping Arsenal is going to be very, very hard.
Gary Jacob in the Sunday Times, Dom, talks about Declan Rice. He says he was always considered a good finisher who could have scored more goals at West Ham United, but by his own admission, it was never something at the forefront of his mind. It seems now it is at the forefront of his mind, and, of course, his set-piece delivery is delivering all sorts of great things for Arsenal just now, because he was heavily involved in that first goal for Gyokeres and scored that fantastic second as well. Is there anyone better than Declan Rice in his position just now?
No, he's in a wonderful moment, isn't he? Probably hitting his peak years, mature. He's got every sort of club in the bag in terms of what you want from a midfielder, in terms of his passing, his energy. He looks like he feels like he's the man. He'll be England captain one day, won't
yeah, most likely.
He's Harry Kane's successor-elect, I think. Speaking to David Moyes about him when he had him at West Ham, he absolutely loved him and couldn't speak highly enough about him. And I was speaking to Tony McCoy, the former, the great champion jockey. A couple of years ago, he's a mad Arsenal fan, and he said about Declan Rice in his first year. He said he's the cheapest footballer that's ever been bought. He said he's just brilliant. He can do everything, and that's what he's doing at the moment.
It's testament to him. We're not actually mentioning his transfer fee anymore, which was what was always being mentioned about Declan Rice when he moved from West Ham United. Just picking up on something Carl said there about Mikel Arteta, and it was an 8th place finish when he joined. His first full season they finished 8th, then 5th behind Tottenham, which would have hurt the Arsenal fans, and then those 3 second place finishes. Earlier on in his tenure, there was talk about, is he, Mikel Arteta, the right man? Should the board at Arsenal be given a bit of credit here, and is it maybe the blueprint to follow? Stay patient with the project and you can get your rewards.
Well, certainly. Well, they need the rewards this season, that's for sure, because they've spent £250 million. You know, I think Arteta's had over £1 billion now. So you need to give the board credit for sticking with Arteta, but also for giving Arteta a lot of money. So Arsenal should be challenging. They really should be. And they should be winning stuff. And that's why there is pressure on Arteta now to win the title this season, or certainly win something this season. He absolutely has to. At the moment, it looks as though that's going to happen because they're so solid. They have improved. I think Arteta has made mistakes. Of course he has. I think he'd admit that, which is why I think the fact that they finish second on the last 3 seasons, but things are finally coming together for Arsenal. And as Carl mentioned, the strength they've got there now. They do have 2 players for every position. So, let's not forget they've got 4 key players out at the moment.
They'll never have a better chance.
No, this is their season.
They've got to do it this season.
Yeah.
They've got to do it this season.
You're saying the pressure he's under, but you go to his news conferences week in, week out, as do I, and I've noticed one thing, he looks so relaxed. I know winning will bring that, but have you noticed that change in him?
Yeah, and he should be relaxed in that. They've only conceded 3 goals. Is it Erling Haaland, Szoboszlai and Voltemade.
Yeah.
3 players have scored against Arsenal this season. We're in November. I mean, it's extraordinary. So he's going to be relaxed. He should be relaxed, shouldn't he?
He should be. I mean, just on Arsenal's title challenge, Carl, do you see anybody stopping them, or is this going to be a relentless march and we might not be talking about a title race long before May?
Nothing is inevitable until a mass group of people decide it is, and they all put things down. This is the Premier League. You speak to so many players when they come over to England, they'll talk about the quality in the bottom half of the league. And this is a league where strange results happen every single weekend. So I don't think it is a foregone conclusion that Arsenal are going to saunter this to the Premier League trophy and they'll be champions in early April. But they are in the lead, and it's going to take a lot of things from other teams to catch up right now. I think Manchester City, a lot of their title challenges will be dependent on the health of Rodri. Liverpool will be there or thereabouts within the top 4, top 5. But again, they'll probably have to sort out 2 or 3 of their defensive issues. We've still got a January transfer window and loads of player movement there. A transfer window before a World Cup tournament as well, which means there's going to be quite a few players on the move as well. So catching Arsenal will be hard. I'm sure there are 3 or 4 clubs that think they can catch Arsenal, but also I think Arteta, if from what you 2 are saying in those press conferences, I think Arteta's fairly relaxed about the fact that a couple of teams will try and chase him.
I was going to say, sorry, to me, they've got a look of Liverpool under Klopp in 2019-20, when they just set off like a scalded cat and they were winning and winning and winning. And there's a game at Burnley that sticks in my mind. We were in they won 3-0. And there was a few of us waiting in the tunnel afterwards to speak to a couple of the lads, and they were all just, had it up in my mind all the time. They walked out like laser focused. It was like, done, next one, done, next one. This is what Arsenal like at the moment. Everything, like it's like the stars have aligned for them. And when Liverpool beat Man City in the November, they went 9 points clear. That was it. It was game over, basically. And if the problem that Liverpool and Man City have got at the moment, and Chelsea, it's one false move and Arsenal win. That's it. If they get to 10 points, they're not coming back.
Arsenal's margin for error in games is so much higher now because their defence is so good. It's very hard to see any team scoring 2 goals against them right now, which means a 1-goal lead for Arsenal must feel so relieving or freeing for the team at the moment. So we'll see. Look.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
I mean, you know, people talk about Gabriel and Saliba at the back, but during Timber, arguably, has been their best player
He's
this
phenomenal.
season. Calafiori is the player that we now know, yeah, he is, and what Arteta wanted him to be last season. And as you mentioned, Zubimendi has just transformed that area, which has made Declan Rice even better because he's able to push up a bit, and which is why, you know, hopefully he'll score more goals. So, you know, as Dom says, you know, the stars are aligning, and they've still got Odegaard to come back, and Jesus, you know, and Havertz, and Madueke as well. So, yeah, they're looking really, really strong.
Quick quiz question. It's 102 games since Arsenal conceded 2 goals, more than 2 goals rather, in a game. Can you name the team?
100.
Bournemouth.
102 games since they conceded more than 2 goals.
Isn't it Bournemouth?
No.
Are you sure?
Manchester City?
No. You won't believe the answer. It is Luton Town.
That was it.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. You can
Fantastic.
share that one with your friends.